guess what? Your life does depend on it. Your life does depend on it. And as challenging as all this may sound, it's nowhere near as brutal as waking up in the middle of the night like someone parked a car on your chest, crushed under the realization that your life is zooming by you and you've yet to start living it the way that has any real meaning to you. Okay. You may have heard about people that have had these major breakthroughs when the shit really hit the fan. They found a lump or got their electricity turned off or were just moments away from like having sex with strangers to buying drugs when suddenly they woke up. They transformed. Okay. But you guys do not have to wait until you hit rock bottom to start crawling out of your hole. All you have to do is make the decision. Okay. And guys, you can make that decision right now. Okay. There is a great line of poetry and it reads, and the day came when the risk to remain tight in a bud was more painful than the risk it took to blossom. I've heard this put many times, when the pain of change, when the pain of staying the same is greater than the pain of change, you're going to do something different. Okay. I've been like this before in life, you know, and I think that a lot of people have been like this in life. Okay. My journey to where I am today, it was a process, and guys, it still is. That's why I'm here with you every single day doing some kind of personal development. Okay. But it started with my decision to make some serious changes in my life, regardless of what I had to do to make them. Okay. You know, I guess almost 5 years ago, you know, I was a drug addict and I was homeless. I was helpless. I had lost everything. I almost lost my children. I had already lost some children. I lost my business. I lost my home. I lost, you know, my car wasn't running. I was sleeping in it. Life was hell. Life was hell. But it took me making the decision. I am better than this. I am capable of more than this. This is not the life that I was meant to live. And I got to do something different, you know? You know, none of the things that I had tried before were working. Okay. You know, I'd get clean for a little while and I'd build an empire and then I would relapse and I would lose it all over again. Okay. So, you know, things that I'd done, mulling it over with, you know, with my equally broke friends who were struggling like I was, a therapist that really didn't give a shit about me, you know, working my ass off. You know, just trying to go out for some fun and just forgetting about it, hoping everything would take care of itself. You know, there was a point where I would try anything to get my act together. Okay. And Lordy, Lord, it's like the universe was testing me to see how serious I was. And I can totally get that, because looking back now, I can see that there were areas where God really was testing me to see if I was really ready to get my crap together and move forward in life. You know, I went to motivational seminars where they'd make me wear name tags and high five the person sitting beside me shouting, "You're awesome. And so am I." I beat a pillow with a baseball bat and shrieked like I was on fire. You know, I bonded with my spirit guide. I participated in group ceremonies where I married myself, wrote a love letter to my uterus, read every self-help book under the sun, and spent blood curdling amounts of money that I did not have hiring coaches. Okay. Basically, I took one for the team. If you're new to the self-help world, I'm hoping that you come into this class with me every day, that you showing up at noon for hour of favor, you know, no matter what we're discussing, is going to help ease you into some of the basic concepts that, you know, has totally changed my life, so that you can have a breakthrough too, you know. And I choose to hope to bring you here with, you know, my sense of humor, with my genuine caring for other people and helping them change the direction of their life, you know, some, you know, a friendship, a camaraderie, so that you don't leave, you know, screaming. in the process, that you actually stay. Okay. If you've already dipped your toe in the self-help pond, I hope it'll say that we're going to go over something that's going to like shed light on things in a new way. Okay. So that you can make some major shifts, create some tangible results. And someday you're going to wake up crying tears of giddy disbelief that you get to be you. Okay. If I can save one person from ever having to take their inner child on a play date, I have done my job. Okay. My main focus when I started working on myself was how to make money. I had no idea how to do it on a consistent basis and was totally weirded out by admitting that I ever wanted to do it in the first place, you know. I saw, you know, in my lifetime, I have seen so many people, okay, doing sleazy, heartbreaking things to make money, you know, not to mention those who were working their Borno jobs, death of 1,000 wounds. And, you know, I wanted no part of that. And to my slew of other crippling beliefs about the unholy dollar, it's a wonder that, you know, I have not spent days eating out of a dumpster. I finally realized what I needed to focus on was not only making money, but I also needed to get over my fear and loathing of it if I wanted to start raking it in. Okay. So when this is period of time when the self-help book started infiltrating my house, the name tags assumed their mandatory, humiliating posts above my left boob. Eventually, I took my credit card debt to unthinkable heights by forking over more money than I'd paid for all my junky cars put together and hired my first coach. Okay. Within the first 6 months, I tripled my income with an online business that I created around coaching. Okay. And now I've grown it into a place where it affords me the means to live in luxury. Okay. While I help coach people in all areas of their lives. Okay. In an attempt to help you get to where you want to go, I'm going to ask you to roll with some pretty out there things throughout this journey that we're taking on discovering our inner badass. I want to encourage you to have an open mind. Okay. Now, on second thought, I want to yell it in your face. Stay open or you're screwed. I mean it. This is really important, guys. Okay. You've got to get to where you are right now by you got to where you are right now by doing whatever it is that you're doing. So if you're less than impressed with your current situation, there's clearly some things that you need to change. Okay. If you want to live a life you've never lived, you're going to have to do some things you've never done. Makes sense, don't it? I don't care how big of a loser you may or may not perceive yourself to be right now. The fact that you are literate, okay, that you are here during personal development class puts you ahead of the game. Okay. This isn't something to feel guilty or whiny or superior about, but you know, this class is something to appreciate. Okay. And should you make the decision to really go for it with the rest of us, know that you're extremely well poised to knock it out of the park. Share your awesomeness with the world, because that's really what it's all about, guys. It's really what it's all about. Okay. We need people to feel happy and fulfilled and loved so that they don't take their shit out on somebody that don't deserve it, the people around them. Okay. We need people, we need to be surrounded by people who radiate self-love and abundance, so we don't program future generations with gnarly beliefs like money is bad and I'm not good enough and I can't live the way that I want to live. Okay. We need kick-ass people to be out of the struggle, people that are living large and on purpose so that they can be an inspiration to others that want to rise up too. Okay. The first thing that I'm going to ask you to do, guys, is to believe that we live in a world with limitless possibilities. Okay. I don't care if you have a lifetime of proof that you can't stop shoving food in your face, or that people are instinctively evil, or that you couldn't keep a man if you were handcuffed to his ankles. I want you to believe, okay, that anything is possible anyway. Just see what happens. I mean, what have you got to lose? If we get through this and we decide that it's a bunch of crap, we can go back to our sucky lives. But if you put your disbelief aside, roll up your sleeves, take some risks, and totally go for it, you're going to wake up one day and realize, I'm living the life that I've always been jealous of. Okay. So a big part of personal development, okay, and changing our lives to get where we want to be is, first of all, we have got to realize how we got the way we are. Okay. How we got the way that we are. Okay. We can say my subconscious made me do it. You are a victim of the rules that you live by. Is anybody having a hard time hearing me? If you can hear me clearly, put a 111. Put a 111. Okay. Okay. Okay, great. Okay. Many years ago, I was in a terrible bowling accident. My friends and I were at the tail end of a heated tiebreaker, and I was so focused on making a great show of my final shot, leaping into action, loudly declaring my impending victory, dancing and twirling my way through my approach, that I didn't realize where my feet were, and I let go of the ball. This was the moment I was to learn how serious the bowling community is about penalizing those who roll with one toe over the line. They pour oil or wax or lube or something unimaginably slippery all over the alley should someone accidentally slide out of bounds while attempting the perfect hook shot. So much that they're going to find their feet flying out from under them and their ass crashing down on the surface that even an airborne bowling ball can't crack. That's funny. That's funny. A few weeks later, whilst rolling around in my bed, with this guy that I had met at Macy's, I explained that ever since my accident, I've now woken up every night with excruciating pain in my feet. According to my acupuncturist, this is from the nerves of my back getting slammed when I fell. And in order to sleep through the night, I need a new, firmer mattress. I have pains in my feet when I sleep too, he said, raising himself for an unreciprocated high five. Got left hanging. It's not just because I'm not into the whole high five thing that I left him hanging, but also because I was annoyed with him. I already find mattress shopping to be totally bizarre and embarrassing, lying on your side with a pillow between your thighs and all to see, for everyone to see as if it's any of their business. But the fact that I had to do it with the salesman lying next to me, begging for a high fiver, was more than I could handle. Okay. I couldn't help but notice that all the other salesmen simply stood at the end of the bed, rattling off mattress facts while their clients tested out a myriad of positions, but not mine. He lowered down next to me on his back, arms crossed over his chest, and thoughtfully chatted away, staring at the ceiling like we were at summer camp. I mean, he was nice enough and incredibly knowledgeable about coils and latex and memory foam, but I was scared to roll over for fear that he would start spooning me. Was I too friendly? Should I not have asked him where he was from? Did he think I meant something else when I patted the empty space next to me to test the pillow top? Woo, I obviously should have asked for Freak Show Bob to get off the damn bed or found someone else to help me instead of sneaking out the door and blowing my only opportunity that week to go mattress shopping. But, you know, I didn't want to embarrass him. I didn't want to embarrass him. This is pretty much how my family was trained to deal with any sort of potentially uncomfortable interaction. Along with the fail-safe method of running in the opposite direction, other tools in our confrontation toolbox also included freeze, talk about the weather, go blank, and burst into tears the second you were out of earshot. Our lack of confrontation management skills was no great surprise, considering the fact that my mother came from a long lineage of WAFs. Her parents were the type who believed that children were to be seen and not heard, who looked upon any sort of emotional display with the same horrified disdain, usually reserved for cheap Scotch and non-Ivy League educations. Even though my mother went on to create a household for us that was warm, loving, and as laughter-filled as they come, it took years for me to finally learn how to form a sentence when presented with the blood-curdling phrase, "We need to talk." All this is to say it's not your fault you're messed up. I am not saying all these bad words. It's your fault that you stay messed up. The foundation of your messed upness is something that can be passed down through generations of your family, like a coat of arms or a killer cornbread recipe, or in my case, equating confrontation with heart failure. When you came screaming onto this planet, you were a bundle of joy, a wide-eyed creature incapable of doing anything but being in the moment. You had no idea you had a body, let alone that you should be ashamed of it. When you looked around, everything just was. There was nothing about your world that was scary or too expensive or so last year, as far as you're concerned. It was something, if something came near your mouth, you stuck it in it. If it came in your hand, you grabbed it. You were simply a human being. While you explored and expanded into your new world, you also, hold on one second, guys. I'm so sorry. So sorry, I've got a tickle in my throat and I feel like I'm about to just choke. Sorry. Maybe that'll help. Okay. Simply being a human being. Okay. While you explored and expanded into your new world, you also received messages from people around you about the way things are. From the moment you could take it in, they started filling you up with a lifetime's worth of beliefs, many of which have nothing to do with who you are actually or even what is necessarily true. Like, the world is a dangerous place. You're too fat. Homosexuality is a curse. Size matters. Hair shouldn't grow there. Going to college is important. Being a musician or an artist is not a real career, etc., etc. We could go on and on. The main source of this information, of course, was your parents, who were assisted by society at large. Okay. When they were raising you, your parents, in a genuine effort to protect you and educate you and love you with all of their hearts, hopefully, passed on the beliefs that they learned from their parents, who also learned from their parents, who learned from their parents, so on and so forth. You know, the trouble is, many of these beliefs have nothing to do with who they actually are or were or what is actually true. I realize I'm making it sound like we're all crazy, but guys, that's because we kind of are. Okay. Most people are living in an illusion based on someone else's beliefs. Do y'all remember that? Do y'all realize that? That most of us are living in an illusion based on someone else's beliefs. Until they wake up, which hopefully this study that we're doing, it's going to help wake us all up. Okay. I believe with everything in me that we're about to discover things about ourselves that we never realized. We're going to find blockages that we didn't know exist that is stopping us from getting where we want to. Okay. Here's how it works. we as humans, we have a conscious mind and we have a subconscious mind. Okay. Most of us are only aware of our conscious minds. However, that's because that's where we process all of our information. Okay. It's where we figure things out. It's where we judge. It's where we obsess. It's where we criticize. It's where we worry that our ears are too big, where we decide once and for all to stop trying to eat fried food. That's where we grasp that, 2 + 2 is 4. Okay. It's where we try to remember where the hell we left the car keys, et cetera, et cetera. The conscious mind, it's like a relentless overachiever, incessantly spinning around from thought to thought, stopping only when we sleep, and then starting up again the second we open our eyes. Okay. Our conscious mind, otherwise known as our frontal lobe, doesn't fully develop until sometime around puberty. Okay. Our subconscious mind, on the other hand, is the non-analytical part of our brain that's fully developed the moment we arrive here on earth. It's all about feelings and instincts, interrupted into ear-piercing temper tantrums in the middle of the supermarket. It's also where we store all of our early outside information that we get. Okay. The subconscious mind believes everything because it has no filter. It doesn't know the difference between what's true and what's not true. That's why, when we practice the law of attraction, we can trick our minds into anything. Mind is a powerful thing. We can convince ourselves we're sick. I know I've convinced myself that I've had COVID at least 10 times since last March. Actually coming down with the symptoms, the metally taste in my mouth. Crazy, okay? The subconscious mind believes everything because it has no filter. It doesn't know the difference between what's true and what's not true. If our parents tell us that nobody in our family knows how to make money, then we believe them. Okay. It shows us, if they show us that marriage means punching each other in the face, we believe them. Okay. We believe them when they tell us that some fat guy in a red suit is going to climb down the chimney, bring us presents. If we're going to believe that, why wouldn't we believe any of the other garbage that they feed us? Our subconscious mind is like that of a little kid who doesn't know any better. Okay. And not coincidentally receives most of its information when we were little kids and don't know any better because our frontal lobes, that conscious part of our brain, hasn't fully formed yet. We take information in. By smiles, frowns, heavy sighs, raised eyebrows, tears, laughter, etc. For those surrounding us with the zero ability to filter any of it, it gets lodged into our squishy little subconscious minds as the truth, otherwise known as our beliefs. Okay, where it lives, where it's undisturbed and unanalyzed until we're on a therapy couch decades later, or checking ourselves into rehab again. God knows I've been there. Okay. I can pretty much guarantee you, every time you tearfully ask yourself the question, what the is my problem? The answer lies in some lame, limiting, false subconscious belief that you've been dragging around with you your whole entire life and you don't even realize it. Okay. Which means that understanding this is majorly, majorly important. Okay. So let's review, shall we? Okay. 1, our subconscious mind contains the blueprint for our lives. It's running the show based on unfiltered information it gathered when we were kids, otherwise known as our beliefs. Okay. 2, we are, for the most part, completely oblivious to these subconscious beliefs that run our lives. 3, when our conscious minds finally develop to show up for work, no matter how big, smart, or highfalutin they grow to be, we're still being controlled by the beliefs we were carrying around in our subconscious minds. Our conscious mind thinks it's in control, but it's not. And our subconscious mind don't think anything about anything, but it's in control. Think about that. It makes sense, don't it? It makes absolute sense. Okay. This is why some of us stumble through life doing everything we know in our conscious minds to do, but yet remain mystified by what's keeping us from creating the excellent lives that we want. Okay. Sorry. It might be the COVID giving me a scratchy throat. Kind of joking. Was so not. For example, let's say you were raised by a father who constantly struggling financially. And as a result, he walked around grumbling, kicking the furniture, grumbling about how money don't grow on trees. And he might have even neglected you because he was always off trying for the most part to make a living. Okay. Your subconscious took all of this in at face value. So you might have developed subconscious beliefs such as money equals struggle. Money is unavailable. It's the money's fault that I was abandoned by my father and I didn't get the love, time, and attention that I've deserved. Money sucks and causes pain. Now, cut to you as an adult who in your conscious mind would love nothing more to be raking in the dough, okay? But who is subconsciously mistrusting of money, believes it's unavailable to you, who worries that if you don't make it, you'll be abandoned by somebody you love. I've been there. I've been there. Then, because it's running in your subconscious, you may be manifesting these beliefs by staying broke no matter how hard you consciously try to make money, or by repeatedly making tons of money and then losing it in order to avoid being abandoned, or in a plethora of other frustrating ways. No matter what you say you want, if you've got an underlying subconscious belief that's going to cause you pain or that it isn't available to you, you either A, won't let yourself have it, B, you'll let yourself have it, but you'll be really fucked up about it, and then you'll go off and lose it anyway. Yep. We don't realize that by eating that fourth donut or by ignoring our intuition and marrying that guy who's awful, a lot like our low down cheating daddy, that we're being driven by our subconscious minds, not our conscious minds. When our subconscious beliefs are out of alignment with the things and experiences we want in our conscious minds and in our hearts, okay, it creates confusing conflicts between what we're trying to create and what we're actually creating. It's like we're driving with one foot on the gas and one foot on the brake at the same time. Obviously, we all have some awesome subconscious beliefs as well, but we're not talking about that right now. Okay. Let's go over some scenarios. These may or may not ring a bell with you. If they ring a bell with you, type a 3 in the comments. Conscious mind. I long to find and marry my soulmate. Subconscious mind. Intimacy leads to pain and suffering. I'm going to put a 3 there. Oh, conscious mind. I want to lose 25 pounds. Subconscious mind. People aren't safe. I must build a shield to protect myself. Body. A fortress of flab. I'll put a 3 there. I need to lose 80 pounds. Conscious mind. I'm hot and sexy and I want to get it on. Subconscious mind. Physical pleasure is shameful. Sex life. Big yawn. Conscious mind. I want to travel the world. Subconscious mind. Fun equals irresponsibility. I won't be loved if I'm irresponsible. Passport blank. I'm going to put a 3 there. It's sort of like not being able to enjoy sitting on your front porch anymore because it totally reeks of something foul out there. You know, you could come up with all of these brilliant ways to deal with the problem. Light incense, set up fans, blame it on the dog. But until you realize that something has crawled under your house and died, your problem is going to linger on, stinking up your life. Okay. The first key to ridding yourself of limiting subconscious beliefs is that you got to become aware of them. Okay. Because until you're aware of what is really going on, you'll keep working with your conscious mind. Think you need to paint the porch to solve a problem that's buried far beneath it. Like as simple as removing the dead skunk. Okay. In your subconscious, which is an exercise of utility. Okay. I want you guys to take a minute and look at some less than impressive areas of your life and think about the underlying beliefs that could have created them. Let's take the old crowd pleaser, lack of money, for example. If you're making far less money than you know you're capable of earning, have you reached a certain income level that no matter what you do, you can't seem to go above? I have $10,000 a month. I can't break it. I get up to it, but I can't get past it. Have y'all hit anything? Does generating abundance of money consistently seem like something you're not even physically capable of? If so, write down the first 5 things that come to your mind when you think about money. I hope y'all brought your notebooks. Write that down. Is your list full of hope and bravado or fear and loathing? What are your parents' beliefs about money? What are the beliefs that other people around you grew up? What were their beliefs? What was their relationship with money like? Do you see any connection between their money beliefs and yours? Okay. Later on, probably next week, I'm going to give you guys some tools to go much deeper with your subconscious beliefs so that we can fix what is blocking you from living the life you love. But for now, I want you guys to just practice stepping aside and looking at the dysfunctional areas of your life. Okay. Strengthen your almighty awareness muscle. Start waking up to the stories you're working with in your subconscious. I'll have to do things I hate to do in order to make money. I'll feel trapped if I get into an intimate relationship. If I go on a diet, I'll never get to eat anything fun again. Because once you see what's really going on, you're going to start to drag out the stinky carcasses of your limited subconscious beliefs and give them the heave-ho, thereby opening up the space to invite fresh, new, awesome beliefs and experiences that you are going to love to have in your life. Okay? All right, guys, that is day 1 of You Are a Badass. Okay? Tomorrow, we're going to go on into trying to find the secrets of the universe. Okay? I love you guys a lot. I so appreciate you being here with me because it holds me accountable to do personal development too, because I will be honest with you, if we weren't here meeting as a family every single day, it's so easy. The things we do for ourselves to make ourselves better people is the first thing that we let go in trying to save the world, help others, take care of our kids, our house, whatever it may be. So, I need these classes as much as you guys need these classes. And, I just hope that you take notes and you practice what we live away with. Okay. So, let's see, I'm having, let me stop the recording.